Hey there, brothers and sisters. Welcome once again to Learning Mormon Principles, your YouTube channel, which is dedicated to the learning, understanding, and the teaching of the principles that are taught in the Book of Mormon, which is another testament of Jesus Christ, as of course you all know. We are grateful for all of you who have joined us back into this third segment as we study 1 Nephi chapter 16. And in the previous segment, brothers and sisters, we discussed verses 9 through 17. And it kind of left us on a hanging point. But I hope you're really paying attention here, because this is, I think, one of the greatest points of this chapter. It helps us really understand how the Lord starts to work, not just with them, but this is really how the Lord works with all of us. I invite you to pause the video as always and to say a prayer and to invite the Spirit to be with us, as I know that as you're here with me, that you'll be able to feel the Spirit. Assuming you've done this, I want to go ahead and start at verse 18, brothers and sisters. Verse 18 on page 34 of 1 Nephi chapter 16 says, "And it came to pass that as I, Nephi, went forth to slay food, behold, I did break my bow, which was made of fine steel. And after I did break my bow, behold, my brethren were angry with me because of the loss of my bow, for we did obtain no food. And it came to pass that we did return without food to our families, and being much fatigued because of their journeying, they did suffer much for the want of food." Okay, now we understand that all of them, brothers and sisters, all of them here had their own bows. All of them did. It just goes to show you how much of a burden was placed upon Nephi. They all either broke their weapons or something, but because of that, and Nephi sadly breaking his, suddenly all the pressure is on. Their progression to continue on suddenly was halted, and they wished to blame it on Nephi. And Nephi feels this huge loss. He feels even more responsible. And it's not just because he's kind of leading the pack, brothers and sisters. It's because here he is, trying to keep the faith instilled in his brethren, who had already been murmuring from before the passage into this long, hard road of the wilderness even began. And he still has to support them. He's got to keep them spiritually interested, keep himself faithful, follow the commandments of the Lord, and do all these other things. And this is what touches me about Nephi's dedication to the Lord so much. Verse 20 says, "And it came to pass that Laman and Lemuel and the sons of Ishmael did begin to murmur exceedingly because of their sufferings and afflictions in the wilderness. And also my father began to murmur against the Lord his God. Yea, and they were all exceedingly sorrowful, even that they did murmur against the Lord." The Lord's prophet himself, Lehi, even started to murmur here. Nephi's not even really the leader of this pack right now. He's not the patriarch of this group. And the pressure is setting on. But Nephi's resolute. He's resolute in his determination to continue forward. Verse 21, he says, "Now it came to pass that I, Nephi, having been afflicted with my brethren because of the loss of my bow, and their bows having lost their springs, it began to be exceedingly difficult, yea, insomuch that we could obtain no food. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did speak much unto my brethren, because they had hardened their hearts again, even unto complaining against the Lord their God. He's just dealing with an overly large burden that he just is having a hard time dealing with himself. And now he's got to worry about keeping his brethren from murmuring to the point where the Lord actually stops blessing them altogether. So in verse 23, here's Nephi's determination to the deliverance and his faith in knowing that the Lord was going to sustain him. Here is his determination. He says, "And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did make out of wood a bow, and out of straight stick an arrow. Wherefore I did arm myself with a bow and an arrow, and with a sling, and with stones. And I said unto my father, Whither shall I go to obtain food?" He still possessed enough faith to ask even the patriarch of the group, who himself was murmuring, brothers and sisters. This is how humble Nephi is. And it came to pass that he did inquire of the Lord, for they had humbled themselves because of my words. For I did say many things unto them in the energy of my soul. He had all the pressures mounting. He had all things against him here. And he still was able to hold enough faith, knowing that the Lord provided, but he had to stop and say many things unto them. And it wasn't just many things, brothers and sisters. It was also passionate words. He was fiercely contending to keep their faith in the Lord here. Otherwise he would not have said, "For I did say unto them many things in the energy of my soul." Verse 25. "And it came to pass that the voice of the Lord came unto my father, and he was truly chastened because of his murmuring against the Lord, insomuch that he was brought down into the depths of sorrow." And in verse 26, "And it came to pass that the voice of the Lord said unto him, Look upon the ball, and behold the things which are written." The Lord directing Lehi, look back to this compass. Find your direction here. Verse 27. "And it came to pass that when my father beheld the things which were written upon the ball, he did fear and tremble exceedingly. And also my brethren and the sons of Ishmael and our wives." Why did he fear? I'm going to wait until the next segment to pick up on the rest of that, brothers and sisters. I just want to appeal to you again, the difficulty of Nephi's situation here. I can't even begin to think how difficult it may have been for him in doing this. Why are we sometimes prone to complain when all things seem to be failed and thrown in our face to where we can't succeed? The miracle message of the Lord in all things is, "Have faith in me and ye shall receive." That's his continual phrase. Next to "come unto me," the Lord says many times in the scriptures, "Have faith and ye shall receive." Brothers and sisters, stay with us and come back with the next segment.